Hi, I'm Steelfur of Steelfur Speaks, and this is Steelfur on Sunday. This is a new segment I am launching, which focuses entirely on the news from the past 7 days in the world of flesh and blood. So think the previous weekend, the previous week, what's been announced, what are the highlights, what you need to know. It is going to be a short, quick update focusing just on what's happened and anything interesting that's been in the pipeline. There is also going to be an associated hashtag and a local news or a your news segment. So if you hashtag Steelfur on Sunday on Blue Sky, or you message me on Blue Sky or on Discord, I will look to include your news in this podcast at the end of this podcast in a segment dedicated to other people. Now, obviously, I need your help to get off the ground. In the meantime, let's just run through the sort of thing that this segment is going to be looking at. So, big news, obviously, still on the line is the Pro Tour London, finishing up last Sunday in London, so only 7 days ago, where we saw, going through a blistering top 8, Pablo Pintor emerging to be the only ever person to win his second Pro Tour in the world of flesh and blood. And given that we've had about 10 of them or 12 of them now, the fact that we've finally had our first sort of repeat winner is exciting and great. He fought through an illusionist heavy top 8, full of prisms and enigmas and a few auroras as well, to reach a finals enigma showdown where he won and added a significant amount of points to the enigma ledger of ancestry. Then we moved on to the battle hardened, of course, moving into living legend. We saw a lot of chain players, a lot of people piloting, especially what's being called RuneGate chain, which is a chain using a lot of the Vinset tools, specifically thinking about all of those RuneGate disruption cards that Vinset can play, and using those to really disrupt and beat their opponents. We saw a lot of Stavro as well in the top cut, going up against those chains and ultimately winning through until the finals, but then losing, of course, in the finals. Both two great players from the UK, George Roger and Jacob Clements, reaching the semi-finals, and George losing to Nova Chan in the finals. Also a shout out to Hamish from Push the Point, who I've known for years, who is a great player making the top 4 of that tournament. We also had, of course, the calling happening and another Enigma victory for Emily Froese. The meta kind of mirrored what we saw at the Pro Tour, so we also had a lot of Illusionist and Aurora. There was, however, one slip through the cracks, which was very interesting. And of course, we didn't see as much Prism in the second event. But still, a really blistering event. The largest Pro Tour, the largest calling, about 2,500 people in the room. It was great, and Fab competitive play continues to go from strength to strength. So congratulations to the Sunflower Samurai for taking home the second Pro Tour. Sorry, the second first ever to have the second Pro Tour win on one person. Also, this weekend just happened, so the last 2 days we've seen the kickoff of the ProQuest in Singapore. There are more than 500 ProQuest events happening with an average of 2.5 Living Legend points being given out per event. So there are about just under 1,500 Living Legend points being given out in the course of this season. And of course, some of those may be soaked up by heroes that do Living Legend, like Enigma and Zen. However, if those heroes Living Legend this first weekend, we may see Living Legend points going to other heroes. A quick reminder then of the Living Legend points where things currently stand. Zen is on 991 after the stellar performance at Pro Tour London. Enigma is on 989. We have Dash Inventor Extraordinaire at 940, and followed by Azalea and Phi in the 800s. Bravo, Nu, Kano, KO in the 700s, and then Aurora, Katsu, and Dorinthia in the 600s. A lot of people are speculating exactly what's going to happen. Enigma and Zen are likely already gone as of the making of this episode. Based on the news that I have been hearing from the weekend, it is very likely that they have already retired. And then really the question is, will Dash also gain those 60 points needed, or will Aurora shoot across and gain 300 points and take the majority of the points and win? So keep track of that. Over the next few weeks, we will try and bring you an update on what has happened over the weekend and who has Living Legend. But as of tomorrow, I would expect that both Zen and Enigma will be gone, as we have already seen a lot of ProQuest announcements already happen. If you're going out to a ProQuest and you want to give an update on what's happening, What fun decks have you seen? Have you seen any odd or breakout decks? Remember, hashtag Steelfur on Sunday. Let us know what you've seen, and we'll try and feature them in the next episode. Then, of course, moving on, this week also saw the launch of the Maxx Nitro Armory deck. I have seen some initial reviews from the mech players that I follow saying that it is a good Armory deck, that it has a lot of fun tools for Maxx, but I guess the time will tell as to whether it proves to be a competitive breakout or whether it just gives players a new route into the Mechanologist class that has been missing since Bright Lights came out. We have already seen quite a lot of sales of things like HyperX3, of things like Moonshot and stuff like that on card market. So it does indicate that this Armory deck is seeing some success. And of course, Maxx has been quite a popular hero due to his aesthetic and playing the Mechanologist class, which quite a lot of people like. So the launch of this Armory deck is sure to bring a lot of new players to Maxx the Hype Nitro. The only other main news from the last week comes from the keynote summary from the Pro Tour itself. The first alt art beach style heroes going out at the World Tour Singapore as part of the souvenir package, or you can get one through playing various side events or playing in the Pro Tour in Singapore. Also, the announcement of the Ira Armory deck coming out on June the 11th with new tools for that hero. And of course, the announcement of the Armory deck legends for Viserai and Prism, which will be a convention exclusive available at San Diego Comic-Con in July and Gen Con at the end of July, and then other events in the future, with the unique cards also appearing in gem packs in Season 3. The final main piece of news was the announcement of Mastery Pack Guardian, and a lot of the spoilers for that. I would encourage you to go and look at them separately. It is shaping up to be a set. All the cards in that set are Guardian. All the cards in that set are focused on enabling Guardian players to get a bit more strength. There are new versions of Seismic Surges. There are extended art cards to help Guardians. And is also launching alongside a new UPF format called Crack and Shuffle and Play, which is based around the Mastery set Guardian, as well as a new box of a new player, a new UPF format called Smash Palace, which features unique cards that help make those games feel different each time, gives buffs and bonuses and helps the games feel like they're changing, as well as a lot of new heroes, including our first Goblin and Centaur, so non-human heroes, and as well as a new Bravo and several other new features. This box is designed to be played with the Guardian Mastery set in the Crack, Shuffle and Play, but it does also feature a separate box with unique cards and this event deck, tokens, a how to play guide, as well as enough boosters to cover your first game of Crackle, Shuffle and Play. The other final just bombshell announcement that was dropped was the contents of these treasure packs. There is one per booster box in every booster box of High Seas, and they will contain a lot of gold cards, a lot of cold foil cards, cold foil legendaries, extended art cold foils, as well as a special 17 unique treasure cards where it was revealed these were cold foil heroes from the vaults of LSS. So, you know, your Hearts of Fiendal, your Final Spring Tunic, one of each, as well as several unique or EA cards, either 4 copies of certain EA heroes or one special EA Library of Solana, which is a unique card. And that is really the news from the week. Looking ahead, we have rapidly coming up the launch of the Gravy Bones Armory deck on the 30th of May. We have rapidly coming up the pre-releases for the Hunted, for High Seas, which releases at the start of June. So next month we have a lot to look forward to, and of course we have a series of events coming up, including of course the Battle Hardened Santa Clara, which is happening as we speak with a very diverse meta. We have the Battle Hardened Minneapolis coming up in 2 weeks' time, and then the Battle Hardened in Tokyo May 16th to 18th. And things just keep getting more and more interesting from there. You really should expect to see, more events in May. We've got another calling coming back to Taipei for the High Seas World Premiere at the end of May. And we've got, of course, the Battle Hardened Hartford just before that, and lots more events planned in June, including World National Championships all over the world, and lots more exciting stuff. That's the wrap up from me. As I said, this is going to be a very short episode. It will be 10 minutes every single time. That makes the YouTube algorithm happy. If you liked this format, please do let me know, and I will strive to do it weekly, and it will be the weekly video on my channel because I know the podcast is not always as regular. And of course, if you have news you would like to report to me, message me directly on Discord, message me on Blue Sky or Twitter, hashtag Steelfur on Sunday, and I will be sure to address that. It doesn't have to be hard-hitting. It can be, hey look, my friend brought their dog to our weekly armory event, all that kind of stuff. Whatever makes you feel good about Flesh and Blood, or whatever you think that people need to know, whatever you've seen that is interesting. Is it a store doing something good? Is it a deck you've never seen before? Is it a tournament where you did better than you thought you would? Is it a cool cosplay that you've seen? Just hashtag Steelfur on Sunday, and I will get to those every week. Remember, I'm trying to do news for everyone, not just myself. So let me know, and I will speak to you all very, very soon.